Terra Luna jumped off a cliff the other day, but we projected this on April 20th, so it came as no surprise. All right, probably dropped more than anticipated, but we was anticipating this in advance. And today I'm going to share with you how you can see what's likely to occur before it occurs using the best analysis tool when looking at price action. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jigir. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on crypto. So let's dive into Luna. So this video, we have a look on April 20th. April 20th. So this was, what, 3 weeks ago? April 20th. We can see this down here. Only got like less than 1,000 views, but people should have been paying attention. It said Luna set to rise, but don't be fooled. We're still highly likely to see a massive correction, right? We said that in advance. In advance. And remember, we're always doing probabilities and never certainties. And then what did we project? Was this, look, we said we've got this movement here. We should anticipate some type of movement to the upside over here, and then a big movement to the downside, right? That's what we projected. Go back and watch the video. But there's method to the madness, because what happened next? Oh my Lord, look at this. Jeez. Like, come on, right? Okay, it's probably deeper than anticipated, because this is really deep. You know, it was anticipating this kind of region, but it went right the way down. But when we're seeing these particular patterns, we can project this in advance. And today I'm going to share with you the secrets on how we projected this. We even drew the little pink box, and you can see it over here again in advance. This was on the 20th of April before the question. This is the point that we want, right? It's no good. I know I've done some stuff in hindsight before just to teach a few concepts, but some people go, yeah, but what about foresight? Right, we're looking here at foresight, the more movement to the upside before a big correction, and it just tanked, but it was anticipated, very, very important. So now let's just make some, let's clean this up, because then we've got this big move to the downside, right? A massive move to the downside. I'm just going to get rid of this as well. Hold up. I'll keep this like this. Let's just get rid of this. Let's just get rid of all of this. Yeah, we don't need this, right? We got this nice ABC. It's not as steep as anticipated. Bang. And then this over here, we can get rid of that for a second. So the main thing I want to look at today, right? Oh my Jesus. All right, that's when we expect a correction, we don't expect it to be that steep, right? But I was anticipating some aggressive move to the downside. This is something else, right? This is something else. Probably some negative news announcement. I'm purely looking at this from a technical standpoint. But the main thing that we want to be aware of on all markets and all time frames is when you see a 5-wave move to the upside. This was really, really clean with Terra Luna. If I just grab this over here, we got this nice 1, 2, a bullish 3, a 4, and a 5. After this, after a 5-wave clean move to the upside, which is following momentum, pattern, and price. And by the way, if you're not familiar with momentum, pattern, and price, you can take my Fibonacci and Elliott Wave Masterclass. Is in the link below, and I cover this in a lot of depth. What you want to be anticipating is a correction. And we said this. Right? This is what we said. We got this first move to the correction, but normally we should anticipate 5 moves to the downside. That's what we were saying in the YouTube video. In the 20th of April, we're talking about 5 waves. 1, 2, aggressive 3, 4, and a 5. So it looks like that's what's happened, but geez, the C price go from, what was it, $86 to $5 in what? The space of, was that a day? About 3rd of May. 1, 2, 3, 5 days within a week. That is absurd. But we was expecting it, but not as steep as this, right? So full disclosure, wasn't expecting it that steep. So let's just make some method to this madness, right? Even though it's this steep, I don't think the correction's over, believe it or not, right? Believe it or not. And I might need to look at some of the fundamentals, because normally when it's this deep, there's probably some type of negative news that's panicked the market more than even just Bitcoin being down, and it's been a massive sell-off. because when you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, I'm going to keep it quite simple today. I just want to get rid of this. Let me just get rid of this annotation thing. Can I get rid of it? There we go. All right, when we got a movement that we're expecting a correction, right? We're expecting a correction to the downside. I'm going to do it like this. What I was anticipating from, you'll see it in the April video, is a nice wave 1, a wave 2, some type of wave 3, 4, and 5, right? I'm going to draw it like this. And the reason I'm showing it like this is we want to have context of what's likely and highly probable to occur before it occurs, right? So this is not typically an end of a correction. This is very impulsive to the downside. Just want to clean this up. This is so impulsive to the downside. This is basically a structure of a wave 3 structure. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things. It's going to measure wave 1 and wave 2. Typical price zone of a wave 3, even for a correction, are these two green lines. 1.618 to 2.618. So we're basically measuring this wave, and then we're expecting it to go into this range. So we actually anticipated this range. I anticipated more this range, but this was, it's still in the overextended wave range. So you go, all right, Jigir, just purely from a textbook technical standpoint, what's likely to occur? Some type of wave 4. I'm just going to get rid of this as well. This is, yeah. And then one more leg to the downside, right? More, can't go minus, right? This is, geez, such a steep move, right? Something like this. But the main thing is that this is just the first move of the correction. Now, unless the project's dead, unless something's happened, which is saying the project's dead, which I don't think is the case, I might need to just look at it, all right? Let me just look. It's unusual for 5 days for something as big as Terra Luna to drop. Like, where is Luna? We just got to CoinMarketCap. Wow, went from top 10 to still 32, right? It's still big, and the trading volume is 350% of its market cap. Insane. That's just insane. I'm just trying to quickly have a look. Let's have a look. I'm just going to look at some comments here. See if there's... Yeah, it's sad for a lot of people that would have bought, so there's a lot of bearish news. I'm just trying to see if there was... Stay strong. FUD, big volatility. Yeah, I think it's just a big sell-off. I think it's just panic selling. Because, emotional buying and selling behavior, when we're looking at it, you can see there were some aggressive moves to the upside. But this. So let's just stay focused now. So what do we anticipate? Now, forget it's Terra Luna for a second. Just forget. Now we're just going to look at pure psychology of buying and selling. Right? Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. Just we don't care what it is, right? We just go. Well, we do care, but in this context, right? We're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, right? So I'm gonna draw it like this. This is textbook Elliott wave. Textbook. So I'm gonna stay focused there. And then after a 5-wave move to the upside, what should you anticipate? 3 waves to the downside, right? This is the first one. You get some type of second and some type of third. Whatever's going to happen, it's such an extreme move to the downside. It's pretty insane, to be honest. But this is what we normally expect, right? A nice ABC. Now, I'm putting this C over here because this is near the all-time low of Terra Luna, like $1. So we're going to go, I don't know, we can just pop it like something like this because it's already gone here, right? So we might get a 5th wave failure, something like this. Yeah, and then if this is the case, then, we're talking about this being a wave 1. Nice optimism of Terra Luna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 1. And some type of wave 2, A, B, C correction Not overnight. Probably be somewhere like this, maybe second half of this year. Let me just pop it here, something like this. And the correction is just so deep, so it's shocking. I mean, I knew it was likely to do a correction because we said it in the video, right? But a typical maximum wave 2 is 78.6% correction, which is this red line over here. Right? And it just shot past that. It's very, 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 very steep. So we want to be careful over here because I don't think the downside movement's over yet. It's going to take some recovery. But if it does recover and the second half of the year we get the continuation of the bull market, what do we anticipate? Well, believe it or not, just purely from a technical standpoint, a continuation of the former trend. Right? We're not there yet, but this is what typically happens. We've seen this with Bitcoin in 2013, in 2015, 2017, very extreme corrections, only to see it to make higher highs in the future. So with Ethereum, so with Terra Luna, it'll probably be something similar. But right now, it's devastating, massive profit taking. I personally don't watch the news. I literally don't watch the news. So I'm doing pure technical analysis over here. But I can only assume there were some massive announcements, maybe some big hodlers that are saying something, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it was a hack on the contract. I don't know. But really, this is my update on Terra Luna. But the main thing is that we projected it in advance. It's not about being right. It was just that it was a highly probable setup. And I said it here, still highly likely to make a massive correction. And it did make a massive correction. I don't think the correction's over yet. So let's also just look at VeChain, right? You go, VeChain? What's VeChain got to do with it? Well, when we look at VeChain, I remember a similar pattern, right? And we want to be aware of this. So I'm going to show you this. Again, we're just purely looking at technicals there. We're not getting too caught up in the fundamentals of why, how, what. Okay, come on. All right, with VeChain, right? Think about this, right? Let me just pull it up like this. Let me just do this. What do we see? We saw, again, it was hard to believe, but at the time, this is what we said, right? Did a very aggressive, look at very similar to Terra Luna, right? And then it did this, and it did a fifth wave, and then it had, I was calling this a wave A, right? And we go back to the video, and I did an actual video on this. I said, we then expect an A, B, C of some sort for a wave B, and then another new low, right? And look what's happened right now. We're looking like we're finishing up on a wave C, right? So just take a quick snapshot of this. I'll leave this drawing here. We're just going to go back to Luna. And I know I'm just going to do it more like this. See if I can. You'll see what I'm trying to get at over here, right? If I can get it like this, right? So with Terra Luna, I think we're seeing something similar to what we saw with VeChain, and this is what I'm referring to. We'll next probably see some type of wave B, and it looks like it's a recovery, but it won't be, and there'll be one more leg to the downside. Not as long as this, but that's what will typically happen. And we saw that with VeChain. We've seen it with many cryptos like this. So I'm not overly surprised with Terra Luna. It's just shocking at how fast and how steep that sell-off is. That's just insane. So there you have it. But if you want to learn, just learn how we projected this in advance. We said it literally here. 20th of April was, the date of 20th of April was here. And we said we should anticipate one more move to the upside. I was expecting it to be a bit more. Let me just look at candlesticks. Let's just see if there was like a, no, there wasn't really. That's what we said on this video. That was this part here. Expect this before a big movement to the downside. And that's what we got. So yeah, take the free LUA Fibonacci Masterclass, because it just allows you to see. Doesn't mean it's always going to happen, and it's most certainly not going to always be like this. This is very extreme, unusually, like it's just practically pointing down, right? That is scary. Unless you were shorting the market. And I know some of my students were shorting the market or looking to short the market over here based on this analysis as well. But yeah, I don't think it's over. Be patient. But Luna, 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, next bull cycle, you know, this day will be recorded in history of one of the biggest drops of a top 10 crypto. But yeah, let's see how it unfolds. Yeah. Hopefully you're okay that you don't get burnt on this. But if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. The aim of the game is to increase your financial health by being 2 steps ahead of the market as opposed to 2 steps behind, where we can foresee this. And if you're got the skill set of shorting the market, that would have been a great shorting opportunity. But also, if you're taking profits and you're really riding that trend to the upside, and you see a 5-way sequence, like it's time to take profits. And that's what we're talking about. We did quite a few videos on Terra Luna and say, look, time to take profits, because after a 5 wave, it's likely that we're going to see a big correction. And then we never know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. But that was very extreme. But we were anticipating that in advance. Let's finish on a quote. Let's go with. I'm going to go with. I think it's seven. Is it 7? No, I'm going to go with. It's 4. It's one with. Yeah, here we go. It was chapter 4. Chapter 4. This one's from Benjamin Franklin. He or she who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. So be mindful that, the markets of the markets is a zero-sum game, meaning for there to be winners, there must be losers. For there to be profit, there must be losses. That's the name of the game. There's different models out there, which is zero-sum game, non-zero-sum game, meaning you can win-win. Both parties can win. But here, there's millions of participants, and there has to be winners and losers for someone to make profit. And normally what the case is, what the research shows in all markets, not just crypto, is 5% end up being the winners. There's a big chunk that kind of break even. And then the vast majority, like 90-95%, end up being losers. Some losing on a small scale, some losing everything, right? And your job is, if you're speculating and trading, is to get on the winning side by increasing your edge, by really reading the markets and being 2 steps ahead of the market so you can get the probability in your favor. So if you like today's content, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you very soon.